Welcome to Get to Know Your County Commissioner, the program that speaks with elected officials about issues of importance in our community. I'm Jeanette Perez. Today, we'll be learning more about the first Veterans Treatment Court here in Miami-Dade County. District 12 Commissioner Jose Pepe Diaz, who served in the United States Marine Corps and chairs the county's Military Affairs Board, and his guest, Gustavo Cruz, Director of the Military Affairs Board, are here today to explain more. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you for allowing us to be here with you, Jeanette. And I know that military is important to you. I know your other half was served for many years, so thank you for his service too.
Thank you. Let's start off by asking you what the Veterans Treatment Court entails and how does it differ from a traditional court?
The Veteran Treatment Court was basically designed to help the veterans, and it is an alternative process in court that they could go to be able to deal with those legal issues with some kind of a solution and I guess the best way to call it a rehabilitation method. Mm-hmm. And through that rehabilitation, they either, if it's substance abuse or if it's mental issues, whatever the process that they need to take, even though it's a very strict process that is done through the court system, it gives them a chance to rehabilitate with whatever happened and move on with their life.
And why was it important for you to bring it here to Miami-Dade County, the first one?
The first one is something that Gus and I and many others have been working for a long time. Our state attorney, Kathy Rondo, came up with this in a time to ask me about it many years ago, say 6-7 years ago. And our public defender, Ms. Gonzalez, and many others, and we finally went to the chief judge, which immediately worked with us to find solutions. But the purpose is that all over the United States this court exists, and it's really to help our veterans deal with so many different problems that after they leave the theater, combat and being in the military, it's not as easy as the normal person that's just deals with work every day. So it is something that's very, very important, something that's been needed to be done. Dade County was one of the few big cities that didn't have one. So we worked very hard to finally get in. In 2017, it became the first Veterans Treatment Court in Miami-Dade County.
And Gus, you are also a veteran,
yes.
Served in 2 wars.
Yeah.
What does this Veterans Treatment Court mean to you?
I believe, for me personally, it's an opportunity for these veterans and active duty service members to receive the proper care that they need. It gives them a chance, like the commissioner said, for rehabilitation. It's a way for them to integrate back into our society, their families. It's a chance, an opportunity that they receive from the court system in order to reintegrate back into civilian life.
And Commissioner, what was the process that you went through to establish the Veterans Treatment Court?
It was a pretty long process, as I stated earlier, and it's a process that, honestly, as the military liaison for Miami-Dade County and the chairman of the Military Affairs Board, in which I have the honor to have worked with Gus, the executive director. By the way, he's a Marine too, so let's get that clear. Working together, the process has been long, but the financing side of that process is something that we'll get more into, I guess. But it's something that we needed within our community to make ourselves that, having the VA that we do and all the different levels of military within Miami-Dade County, we definitely needed it within our society.
And you mentioned the program was established in 2017, January 2017. And Gus, since then, how many veterans has this treatment court helped?
The treatment court has helped approximately about 50 veterans. It is an amazing process. The program from start to finish, once the veteran enters the program, takes anywhere between 12 to 16 months of completion. When the veteran completes the course, then there's an adjudication of the charges. So it helps out with the veteran getting his life back together, being able to find employment, being able to find housing. All these steps are taken in order to really get the veteran back on his feet.
And what are some of the issues that the veterans are dealing with?
We, this veteran treatment court deals specifically with felonies. So these are the more serious cases. A lot have to do with, they fall under two main categories, either being substance abuse or mental health issues. So it's a way that the VA treats specifically. They have a great success in that. The recidivism in the program is less than 10%. So when the veterans reintegrate back into society, they really they don't become just as involved again.
And to add to that, we have the honor that Gus has worked hand in hand with Judge Tinker Mendez. That's the person that's the lead in the program in the court systems. And he's actually been there, worked with the veterans, worked with the court system. As part of his duties as director of the MAB, he has really intertwined into the system to make sure that the process is working flawless at this time and from now on.
And Commissioner, what are the next steps to ensure that more veterans can benefit from this program?
We have worked very hard. The Justice Department provided our first grant that really stepped everything into place and made everything happen. But a dedicated funding source is really important for us to move forward and make sure that it continues on and grows, because unfortunately there's a huge need. As Gus said before, we have serviced 50 veterans, but unfortunately they've had to turn away a lot of veterans due to not having the personnel to make sure we can address to everybody. And that's something we want to change. We're working with the federal government, with the state government, and within our government ourselves to make sure we lobby for those funds and make sure that those funds will be available and on a permanent basis, so that the court could actually really depend on those funds to hire the right people, to increase the amount of judges, and to do everything that needs to be done to give that service to those that are so important in our community, that made sure that the freedom we enjoy today is thanks to them, and we want to give them the quality of life as we have to.
Thank you, gentlemen. Is there anything else that you'd like to add that maybe the public should know about the Veterans Treatment Court?
Well, on a personal level, the commissioner has continued to champion for them. I think he really picked up the torch in order to try to get funding for the 11th Judicial District. It is a worthwhile expanding court. The commissioner continues fighting for that. I think that is it's so key for the rest of the state and in our community to be aware that such a treatment court exists, that our veterans are being taken care of, that the necessity is there, the need is there, the support's there, and I think that's our goal now is just to try to help as many veterans as we can.
And that's the key thing. There is some legislation that is going through with our representatives Charlie Crist and Jeff Denham in Washington to make sure that we could fund all the veteran treatment courts through the nation. I think there's over 40 members of Congress that have signed in, including Mario Diaz-Balart, which is one of our congressmen. So we're working together as a team, Gus, myself, many others, our military board, affairs board, everywhere, court system, the public defender, the state attorney. We're working together as a team to make this court one of the lead courts in all of the United States. And it was modeled after Buffalo, New York, which was the first court that was done. But to those that are watching, those veterans, we understand and we're here to try to find the best solutions in case there's ever a legal issue with one of them.
Well, I can tell this is a subject very near and dear to both of your hearts, and I appreciate you both coming out here and teaching us a little bit more about the Veterans Treatment Court. Thank you again.
Thank you, Janet.
Gustavo Cruz and Commissioner Diaz, appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.
That's all for this edition of Get to Know Your County Commissioner. For more information on county programs or services, call 311 or visit miamidade.gov. And be sure to connect with us on social media. For Miami-Dade TV, I'm Jeanette Perez. Thanks for watching.